Carl Jung discovered something unsettling about human nature. Within seconds of meeting someone, you can see through their carefully constructed mask and glimpse their authentic character. Not through their confident handshake, not through their polished smile, not even through their impressive credentials. He found that 3 specific psychological tells instantly reveal who someone really is beneath their performance. And once you understand these rapid-fire character indicators, you'll never be deceived by a false persona again. Picture this moment. You walk into a room full of strangers. Everyone seems polished, professional, put together. But your newly trained eye immediately spots something others miss. Within 30 seconds, you know who's genuinely confident and who's compensating. You see who's authentic and who's performing. You identify who's trustworthy and who's wearing a mask. This isn't about becoming judgmental or superior. It's about understanding the psychological architecture that Jung spent decades mapping. The unconscious patterns that emerge before someone has time to construct their social performance. Carl Jung wrote, "The shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. But there are universal patterns in how we reveal our authentic selves, especially in those unguarded first moments of interaction." These rapid character reveals don't require complex analysis or lengthy observation. They happen in micro-expressions that flash across someone's face in milliseconds. In body language adjustments they make before conscious thought kicks in. In vocal patterns that emerge before their social script takes over. But here's what makes this knowledge both powerful and dangerous. Once you start seeing these patterns, you can't unsee them. You'll recognize authentic confidence from manufactured confidence instantly. You'll spot emotional intelligence versus social manipulation within moments. You'll see psychological health versus hidden dysfunction before anyone else catches on. He understood that our authentic character lives in what I call the pre-performance layer. Those crucial seconds before our conscious mind activates our social persona, before we remember who we're supposed to be in this situation. The first rapid character reveal Jung identified is what I call mask adjustment, observing the micro-movements someone makes when they first enter your presence. Carl Jung mentioned, when 2 people meet, it's like 2 chemicals coming together. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But before transformation begins, there's always a moment of unconscious calibration. Watch someone's face in the first 3 seconds after they notice you. Before they smile, before they speak, before they consciously engage. Their authentic emotional state flashes across their features like lightning. Do their eyes light up with genuine interest, or do you catch a micro-expression of calculation? Does their posture naturally open toward you, or do they subtly adjust their stance to appear more confident? Do their facial muscles relax into authenticity, or do you see the split-second construction of their social mask? Let me show you this in action. Meet Rachel, a sales executive known for her warm personality and instant rapport with clients. When Rachel enters a networking event, watch what happens in those crucial first moments. As she scans the room, her authentic expression emerges before her social programming kicks in. Her eyes quickly assess who's important, who might be useful, who she can safely ignore. Her mouth tightens slightly when she spots someone she'd rather avoid. Her shoulders pull back artificially when she identifies potential clients. Then, like flipping a switch, her professional persona activates. Warm smile, open posture, confident stride. But Carl Jung would say those first 3 seconds revealed Rachel's authentic character more clearly than hours of polished conversation. The genuinely warm person doesn't need to construct warmth. Their face naturally softens when they see others. The authentically confident individual doesn't adjust their posture when they spot important people. Their body language remains consistent. Jung called this phenomenon the persona lag. the brief delay between encountering a social situation and activating the appropriate social mask. In this lag, authentic character emerges. Comment if you've noticed someone's face change the moment they realize they were being watched. I see the mask in motion. The second rapid reveal is what Jung termed micro-dominance patterns, how someone unconsciously positions themselves in social hierarchy within the first moments of group interaction. Where love reigns, there is no will to power. When the desire for power is the most important thing, love is missing. These power struggles show up right away through small things like how people stand, where they look, and how much space they take up. When someone enters a group conversation, watch where they position themselves physically. Do they naturally take a position in the circle that's equal? Or do they slightly adjust their angle to draw more attention? Do they match the group's energy level? Or do they immediately try to elevate or control it? True confidence creates space for others. Manufactured confidence needs to dominate space. Watch how someone's eyes move when they join a conversation. Authentic individuals make brief, warm eye contact with everyone present. Those operating from insecurity either avoid eye contact entirely or lock onto the most important person, ignoring others. Here's a powerful example. David and Michael both join the same business meeting 5 minutes late. Watch their micro-dominance patterns unfold. David enters with quiet confidence. He makes brief eye contact with everyone while moving to an available chair. His apology is simple and sincere. He settles into the group's existing energy without disruption. His presence adds to the conversation rather than redirecting it. Michael's entrance tells a different story. He scans the room to identify the decision-makers, makes prolonged eye contact with the senior executive while barely acknowledging others. His apology includes justification and subtle status signaling. He positions his chair to optimize his view of important faces while cutting himself off from subordinates. But Carl Jung would say both entrances revealed authentic character within 15 seconds. David's behavior suggests genuine self-worth that doesn't need external validation. Michael's patterns indicate inner insecurity masked by dominance behaviors. The most telling aspect of micro-dominance patterns is their unconscious nature. People can't fake these instant adjustments because they happen faster than conscious thought. Your authentic relationship with power and status emerges before your social programming can construct an appropriate response. Watch for these patterns in yourself too. How do you position yourself when entering new groups? Do you naturally create inclusive space, or do you unconsciously compete for attention? Jung believed self-awareness of these patterns was the beginning of conscious character development. The third rapid reveal operates on an even more subtle level, what I call energy signature reading. Jung discovered that within moments of meeting someone, you can sense their authentic emotional and psychological state through their unconscious energy patterns. Also, Carl Jung wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." Those who have done this inner work carry a distinctly different energy signature than those still hiding behind constructed personas. This isn't mystical thinking. It's about recognizing the micro cues that indicate someone's authentic psychological state. Their breathing patterns, muscle tension, vocal resonance, and the quality of their attention all communicate information below conscious awareness. People who are comfortable with themselves breathe differently. Their respiration is naturally deeper and more relaxed. Those performing a role often have shallow, controlled breathing patterns that maintain their constructed image. Authentic individuals have relaxed facial muscles even during serious conversations. Their expressions flow naturally with their thoughts and emotions. Those wearing psychological masks maintain subtle muscle tension that keeps their features controlled and composed. Listen to vocal quality beyond words. Genuine confidence produces naturally resonant tones. Manufactured confidence often creates vocal strain, voices that are too loud, too controlled, or artificially modulated. But the most revealing energy signature is attention quality. Jung understood that consciousness itself has signature patterns. People operating from authentic selfhood offer present, relaxed attention that includes both you and their environment naturally. Those operating from constructed personas offer performing attention. Their focus on you feels intense but hollow, designed to create impression rather than genuine connection. They're simultaneously engaging with you and monitoring their own performance. Let me illustrate this through two different networking encounters. Sarah approaches with authentic energy. Her breathing is natural. Her facial expressions flow with her thoughts. Her voice carries genuine warmth. When she asks about your work, her attention settles completely on your response. She's not preparing her next comment or monitoring how she's coming across. Her presence feels spacious and genuine. Jennifer approaches with performing energy. Her breathing is controlled to maintain her composed appearance. Her facial expressions are carefully managed to project confidence and interest. Her voice has that slightly artificial quality of someone managing their impression. When she asks about your work, you sense she's simultaneously preparing her response and evaluating how the interaction serves her goals. Both conversations might cover identical topics with similar verbal content, but Jung would say their energy signatures revealed completely different character foundations within moments of meeting them. The interesting thing about energy signature reading is that it works even when there are differences in language and culture. Authentic presence translates across all social contexts because it's rooted in psychological integration rather than social performance. Carl Jung called this phenomenon psychological transparency. Those who have done the work of accepting themselves completely become transparent in the most beautiful way. They have nothing to hide because they've integrated their shadow material and dropped their defensive personas. This transparency doesn't mean oversharing or inappropriate vulnerability. It means having harmony between what you feel inside and how you show it outside. What you see is what you get, and what you get is someone comfortable with their full humanity. Comment if you've met someone whose presence felt immediately authentic. I recognize genuine transparency. Now that you understand Jung's 3 rapid character reveals, let's explore why they work so reliably and how to apply them ethically in your daily interactions. The reason these patterns emerge so quickly relates to what Jung called the psychic economy. Maintaining a false persona requires enormous psychological energy. In those first moments of social interaction before someone has gathered enough information to calibrate their performance, authentic patterns leak through. Also, Carl Jung wanted to tell us, the healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers. The energy required to maintain psychological masks creates internal tension that expresses itself through micro-behaviors before conscious control kicks in. This is why first impressions often prove accurate despite limited information. You're not reading superficial social cues. You're detecting authentic psychological patterns before someone has time to construct their social performance. But understanding these patterns comes with ethical responsibility. Jung warned against using psychological insight to manipulate or control others. The goal is comprehension and connection, not domination. Here's how to apply rapid character reading ethically across different contexts. In professional settings, use these insights to adapt your communication style rather than judge others. If you sense someone operating from insecurity beneath confident appearances, offer them psychological safety rather than challenge their persona. If you recognize authentic confidence, you can engage more directly without worrying about damaging their ego. In romantic relationships, rapid character assessment helps you see beyond initial attraction to long-term compatibility. but use this information to understand your partner more deeply, not to attack their vulnerabilities or manipulate their insecurities. For parenting, these skills help you recognize when your children are struggling beneath surface behaviors. Instead of reacting to their persona presentation, you can respond to their authentic emotional needs. Carl Jung emphasized that character reading should increase your compassion, not your judgment. When you see someone's psychological patterns clearly, you're seeing their humanity, their struggles, their defenses, their attempts to navigate a complex world with limited tools. The most profound application of rapid character assessment is turning it toward yourself. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. Practice observing your own mask adjustments, micro-dominance patterns, and energy signatures. What happens to your authentic presence when you enter different social situations? How does your persona shift based on who's watching? What psychological energy are you unconsciously broadcasting? This self-awareness creates choice. Instead of unconsciously adjusting your mask based on social pressure, you can consciously choose how to present yourself while remaining rooted in authentic selfhood. Jung understood that the goal isn't to eliminate all social adaptation. We all need different aspects of our personality for different situations. The key is conscious choice rather than unconscious reactivity. The integrated individual can access confident energy when leadership is needed, vulnerable energy when intimacy is appropriate, and playful energy when connection calls for it, all while remaining authentically themselves. Here's a practical exercise for developing rapid character reading skills. For the next week, practice the 3-second rule. In every new social interaction, spend the first 3 seconds simply observing before engaging your social programming. Watch for mask adjustments in others, but more importantly, notice your own. How does your face change when you realize someone is watching you? How does your posture shift when you enter different social contexts? What energy signature do you carry into new situations? Loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself. As you develop skill in reading authentic character, you'll find yourself drawn to others operating from similar authenticity. This creates what I call consciousness magnetism. Authentic people recognize and are drawn to other authentic people. The psychological energy of integrated individuals creates natural attraction that transcends superficial social dynamics. But Jung also warned about the loneliness that can accompany increased consciousness. When you start seeing psychological patterns clearly, you may feel isolated from those still operating unconsciously. This temporary isolation is part of the individuation process, the journey toward authentic selfhood. The discomfort passes as you learn to use your insights compassionately rather than judgmentally. Instead of feeling superior to those wearing masks, you recognize their masks as protection against pain you may not understand. This recognition transforms isolation into connection. The ultimate goal of rapid character reading isn't to become a master analyzer of human behavior. It's to become so comfortable with your own authentic character that you naturally recognize authenticity in others. He also tells us, the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. But those who do this work become beacons of possibility for others. Your authentic presence gives others permission to drop their masks and risk genuine connection. This ripple effect extends beyond individual relationships into families, communities, and cultures. When one person stops performing and starts being, it creates space for others to do the same. Your willingness to be seen authentically makes authenticity safer for everyone around you. As you practice Jung's rapid character reading techniques, remember that the most important character you're developing is your own. Every moment you choose consciousness over unconsciousness, authenticity over performance, and understanding over judgment. you contribute to the evolution of human consciousness itself. The three rapid reveals, mask adjustments, micro-dominance patterns, and energy signatures, aren't just tools for reading others. They're mirrors that reflect your own journey towards psychological integration and authentic selfhood. Jung believed that individual consciousness was the key to collective transformation. Every person who chooses awareness over unconsciousness creates ripples that extend far beyond their individual life. Your commitment to seeing clearly and being authentic becomes a gift to everyone you encounter. So watch for the mask adjustments. Notice the micro-dominance patterns, feel the energy signatures, but most importantly, turn that same clear seeing toward yourself. Because the ultimate character you're reading and developing isn't someone else's, it's your own. The journey toward authentic selfhood begins with seeing clearly, and it culminates in becoming who you truly are beneath all the masks you've worn to survive in an unconscious world. Your authentic character is your greatest gift, both to yourself and to everyone whose life you touch. Jung's insights give you the tools to recognize and develop this authenticity, creating a life of genuine connection and conscious relationship. Thanks for joining me on this exploration of Jung's psychology of masks. Remember, consciousness is contagious. Your commitment to authenticity becomes an invitation for others to do the same. See you in the next dimension of psychological understanding.